very good evening. Leading our news tonight, concerns have been raised on the need for a recognizable legal framework to protect the traditional knowledge and local resources from being exploited. SPREP is providing technical support on how Niue can strengthen its legal framework in terms of the protection of transboundary and genetic resources. The workshop on transboundary resources, access and benefit sharing as part and parcel of the Nagoya Protocol was held at the Niue Golf and Sports Club yesterday, facilitated by Niue's Environment Department and Maasi Kaisami. It was highlighted in the discussions the absence of a recognizable legal framework protecting the traditional knowledge and local resources from being exploited or exported for commercial purposes.
The purpose of the workshop yesterday is to inform and brief the stakeholders on what exactly Nagoya Protocol is, but also what the Nagoya Protocol will bring into Niue and how Niue could benefit from the Nagoya Protocol itself. And I'm aware that that you are a party to the Convention on Biological Diversity, and one of the applications that comes with that is to have the supplementary protocols ratified in the country, but also to domesticate in order for you to achieve the full applications of the Convention on Biological Diversity.
For Niue's case, an example by a participant was that of the exploitation of taro. Previous years, taro shoots had been exported out of Niue without proper legal protection, with help having to be sought from outside Niue to agencies such as SPC. The taro exported is said to be benefiting other Pacific nations.
So genetic resources is the active components of a particular plant. Let's say, for example, they take taro from Niue. So as part of the taro, they can do research and identify that there are particular components in the taro that could cure cancer. That is the genetic resources of the taro. And so because there's already been cases in the Pacific where they access a particular plant, they do research on it, and they identified that there are some components that could, result or that could be utilized as part of a pharmaceutical product like a Benadryl. So those are the genetic resources of a particular plant or a particular animal. That is the genetic resources we are talking about.
Telecom Niue has appointed a new Chief Executive Officer. He is Brett Collier. According to Avi Rubin of the Telecom's Board of Directors, they sought the services of a recruitment consultant a number of weeks ago, which rendered a total of 20 applications from around the world, the furthest coming from Sudan. 3 candidates were shortlisted, 2 from New Zealand and 1 local. After a rigorous interview process, Brett Collier was selected as the best candidate, and he is contracted to Telecom for 3 years. Catherine Papani, Justin Kamupala, and Sergeant Lamona Jackson recently attended a sexual and gender-based violence conference in Samoa, organized by the Pacific Islands Law Office Network. Catherine Papani highlighted the alarming statistics in neighboring countries. The youngest victim was 3.5 months old, while the oldest was a 93-year-old.
In the Pacific, we have quite a common element in relation to these cases where perhaps a lot of them are not reported, a lot of them don't get as far as to court, and that's because there's a lot of different things in play in our society, and we're all quite common in the Pacific. So we've got the church that comes into play. We've also got the village of pride, and also the family pride in the name of embarrassment or possible shame, things like that. It's not easy.
Niue, Papani says, has a counsellor and is happy there is momentum with a family law bill. However, she noted Niue does not have a women's crisis centre. In an early interview, Chief of Police Tony Edwards stated there has been someone responsible for the women's refuge in such instant. However, the recent incidents and with the rise he sees of domestic abuse warrants reinvigoration of such group or support. Papani also highlighted the necessity for dialogue on the issue.
I think it's a necessity to discuss because we can ensure that we do have special measures in place for our small country, and because Niue is small, so everyone knows what everyone is doing and everyone can hear things, and yes, there's a lot of pride and a lot of care when you're you're going to say someone's name is involved in this, or and someone has done this. There's more sensitivity around a smaller population, and that's not only because of the accused or the person who's done the act, but also for the victim, and that's why it's quite a sensitive area for NIUE to actually perhaps look into more depth. And I think that's within community affairs. We've also got the family bill, the family law coming in.
The Chamber of Commerce officially opened its new office yesterday at the Swanson Shopping Centre. The president of the Ekalesia NIUE blessed the new office during the opening ceremony. The event was a small gathering of the staff members, chairperson of the board of the Chamber of Commerce, and some of the board members. Ida Talangi Hekesi, in her welcoming remarks, said that the organization is over 40 years old and it's about time that the office that represents the interests of the private sector on the island find appropriate space to work from.
We're more visible to the community and to our private sector businesses, and of course we have a training room as well, which is great. We've actually been using the training room for the last about 6 or 7 weeks, and we've had about 9 training courses in there already. So it just makes the operation of the Chamber of Commerce more effective by being all in one location, being able to offer all of our services from one place. For the Chamber of Commerce, it'd be great to be able to have our board meetings, our various sector meetings, in facilities that make it easier for the Chamber of Commerce staff to operate from as well. And just for the general promotion of the activities that we do, the Go NIUE app, those sorts of things, to being in a more high profile area.
The Business Development Manager Ray Finlay said that the old offices were no longer fit for purpose and access was an issue. This new office, located at the new Swanson Shopping Centre, is more central and accessible. Locally designed pillowcases was the theme of the Hikutavake Women's Council Show Day held yesterday. Hikutavake is the first village to hold their annual show day for 2019. On display yesterday were woven baskets, table placemats, necklaces, pillow and table covers, as well as bed sheets, individual items judged accordingly. The main village show day will take place this coming Saturday. And finally, the new childcare centre known as Aonga Ofanga Tolotolopulu, which was scheduled to open today, has been postponed to a later date. This is due to additional construction works to the building. Government is also ensuring all safety requirements are met. Works is expected to be completed in 2 weeks' time. And that's BCN News for this week. Have a blessed Easter weekend.